In Sinhala, we call this as Panshu Pathikada. What is soil profile? This is a vertical section of the different layers of the soil from the earth crust. That is a vertical section. When we cut the soil into a vertical section, we can see there are some layers. We call these layers as our soil profile. So here the soil profile is spreaded from topmost layer into bedrock. So we can see there are mainly three layers in the soil profile: topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. Topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. Okay, here from top to bottom the size of the particles are increased. That means we can see the tiny particles in the topsoil, in uppermost layer, and we can see the large particles, large stones in the bedrock. Okay, here this is bedrock. By weathering of the bedrock form subsoil. Weathering of bedrock form subsoil. Weathering means in Sinhala we call it as jeerna venawa. Panshu jeerna. That means the bedrock is broken into tiny particles, small particles, and form the subsoil. Then by weathering of subsoil form topsoil. Weathering of subsoil form topsoil. So topsoil contains very small particles, and most of the roots of the plants we can find here in the top soil. But some roots, the roots of large trees are penetrated into the subsoil. So here you should remember what is the soil profile and what are the main three layers. So when we study the soil, it is important to study these soil profile also. Soil erosion. In Sinhala we called it as Panshu Kadane. So what is the meaning of soil erosion? Okay. What is the color of water flowing above the soil during a rainy day? It can be a brown color or muddy color, or otherwise it can be in dark color or black color. So these different colors based on the soil covered with the top layer. Because when flowing of water, soil also move with the water. The soil particles remove from the top layer and add into the water and move to another location. So this incident we called as soil erosion. That means removal of the top soil layer. Removal of top soil layer of a certain location by water, wind and animals. To removal of the soil from the top layer. So what are the causes of this soil erosion? Water, wind and animals. That means water, wind and animals help to removal of soil from the top layer. So what is the soil erosion? Removal of top layer of the soil and move to one location to another location. These are the reasons for soil erosion. So first reason, the first and main reason is rainfall. So because of the rainfall, top soil layer is washed away and flowing water. And during flooding season, we can see this type of soil erosion. The topmost layer is removed because of rain and flowing water. And second one, the wind. So topsoil layer is removed by wind during dry season. We can see there are so many dust during dry season. This is because of the wind. And sea waves. Sea waves. The sand in coastal areas are washed away by sea waves. This is also a type of soil erosion. And during agriculture and development activities, mostly soil is eroded. And last one, the animals. The legs, hooves and horns. Removal of the soil because of the legs, hooves and horns of animals. This is also a type of soil erosion. Activity 15.10. Here we have to find out how the covering affects with the soil erosion. To do this activity, we have to take large 3 plastic bottles. And we have to cut these plastic bottles as the figure. You can see, we have to cut this part. Okay, and remove the lids. Then place these 3 bottles on a table. Then we have to put same amount of same soil type in these 3 bottles. Same amount of same type soil each and every bottle. Okay. Then we have to plant a grass clot in the first bottle. We have to plant a grass clot in the first bottle. Then in the second one we have to place dried or decayed leaves. Dried or decayed leaves in the second one. Third one we have to place as it is. Okay. Then we have to take small plastic bottles and cut them. And we have to take this part with the lid. We have to take this part and hang these small bottles on these large bottles. As the figure, you have to hang these small bottles. Okay. After growing of the grasses, we have to add same amount of water to each large bottle. We have to add same amount of water to each and every bottle. Then we can see the collected water in the small bottles. We can see the color. So observe these 3 bottles. So here we can take clearest water from the first bottle. The bottle which we grown the grasses. We can take clearest water. But in the open bottle, we can take dark water. And this one, the bottle which we placed dried or decayed leaves, we can take the water. It is less in dark. So we can take here clearest water, darkest water and less darker. So what can we conclude by this practical? So we can realize that when there is a cover in soil, here that's a cover, grass is a cover for the soil. When there is a cover in soil, soil erosion will be less. To minimize the soil erosion, we have to cover our soil by grasses or dried leaves or decayed leaves or other things. We have to cover the soil. Then we can protect the soil. We can minimize the soil erosion. Now we are going to discuss the methods to minimize the soil erosion. You know, when soil erosion is happening, topmost layer is removing from the soil. We call this topmost layer as fertile layer. What's the meaning of fertile layer? It means this topmost layer contains so many nutrients. These nutrients need for growth of the plant. So we call this layer as fertile layer. So by removing this fertile layer, we lost the nutrients for growth of the plant. So we have to minimize the soil erosion. We have to protect this topmost layer. Mostly this soil erosion is happening in slopy areas. Slopy areas, this occurs in very fast. When there is no soil cover or when there is no grasses in these slopy areas, soil erosion will be high. So we have to protect these areas. Okay, we will discuss how to protect, how to minimize the soil erosion. Look at these pictures in page number 70. Make stone ridges against the slope. In slopy areas, we can put stone ridges, stones, and make drains according to contours. We can make drains and cultivate according to the contour method. So we can see these cultivations in hilly areas. Most of the Norelia district, we can see they are cultivating according to the contour method. And we can use cover crops with highly rooted plants, for example, growing savannah, and prepare fields according to terrace system. Look at the picture. Here you can see a paddy field, a paddy cultivation. They use terrace system for this paddy cultivation. Mostly in hilly areas they use this system. And we can use wind breakers. Here wind breakers mean we can plant some trees that plants block the wind. Mostly here we can see pine trees. Mostly they are using pine trees as wind breakers. And you should remember this one. The substances like polythene, use batteries, chemical fertilizers and use electronic appliances pollute the environment. So we have to protect this environment. So you know soil is the most valuable resource on earth. Soil is most valuable resource. So there is a duty for us to protect the soil. Our duty is protect this soil because it is very valuable. Okay, now we cover our lesson, the soil. You can do the exercise. I think in this lesson we have learned so many things. These are very valuable for our life. So you have to remember these things. Okay, let's go to the summary. Okay, what is the outermost layer of the earth? It is a crust. So soil is important in different ways for plants and animals. For the plants and animals, soil is important for their existence. The components of soils. What are the? We have learnt about components of soil. What are the components? Minerals, water, air and soil organisms. And there are various advantages of them to the soil. We have discussed about what are the uses of these minerals, water, air and soil organisms. And we have discussed about soil profile. Soil is formed by weathering of bedrock. Weathering of bedrock, soil is formed. So it is take very long period of time to make the soil. And we have discussed soil erosion. So soil erosion is removal of topmost layer of a particular location by water, wind and animals. So soil erosion takes place due to natural reasons and also human activities such as agriculture and buildings. That means development activities. Due to development activities. So last one, our duty. The soil conservation is essential for the existence of all life on earth. Okay, now you can do the exercise and you have to read the lesson well again. Bye.